Yo, what's up? Casey is Raw, Dale McCarty. Yeah, the real one. 4-time Stanley Cup champion. Standing here with my boy AJ and just saying, well, I'm just checking out your stuff. I mean, I have been a fan. You can check that out. But, wow. Bloodline storyline. What the hell is going on there? Mythology. Hopefully, Cody. Hopefully. But wouldn't it be cooler if it happened here at Ford Field for SummerSlam? That's all I got to say, boys. Anyways, getting ready for some slapstick comedy. Keep doing what you're doing. Big fan. B-Mac. AJ. No. Man, I have a lot of words right here. Yes. A lot of words. There it was. B-Mac. All right.
Welcome, guys, to the second night of Wrestlemania after show. I am Casey is Raw, and this is Joe Compton. To my right on screen, the other guys hadn't arrived just yet, but I didn't like night 2 as good as well as night 1. What do you thought, Joe?
All I think is I am horrible at making fucking picks.
Oh, I know. I'm exact opposite from last night. I mean, my picks were just exactly from from last night because it was just horrible picks from me.
Oh, mine altogether, both nights was horrible. I was the only person not to crack double digits.
Oh, what was my pick? I mean, how many did I get?
I will go over all that once the other two boys get in here.
Well, talking about that.
Here we go. All right.
How did you not keep up with your own picks?
Well, I mean, I didn't count how many. I think I got actually.
Some people do homework.
I got 7 because I know
you
only
got more than that, Casey.
Well, and here's AJ now.
All right,
what's going on, boys?
Points breakdown.
Hey, Steve, we'll bring you in a little bit, bro. Right after yesterday, it was kind of like we had so many people talking over. We're just gonna roll with the crew right now.
Yeah, with the click.
Well, we'll bring in you in a little while. And same thing with Mikhail. We'll bring you guys in a little bit. But I'm gonna
without further ado.
What?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna admit that I watched the first match with Omos and Lesnar. I was surprised how not bad it was. And then after that,
did I not tell you that was going to be an entertaining match?
Under 5 minutes too.
I swear I booked 3/4 of this WrestleMania. Like, I swear to God, somebody's mind like reading me or something. It's weird, but it's either that or it's so easy and predictable that a blind monkey could guess it. It's one of those two. I'm not sure which, but it's one of the two. So
that is not true, Tex. I was the only person not to crack double digits. Even with
then you're the blind retarded monkey is what you are.
With the 2 gimmies, I still crack double digits.
Who is the ultimate winner? I'm gonna assume it's got to be AJ.
It's a tie. It's a tie.
No, it is Kratos.
Oh, well, he's
Kratos?
not part of the clique, so it doesn't matter.
Kratos.
I ended up 11-4. The only ones I got wrong were the 4-way matches, both of those, the Seth Rollins match, and the title match. So, not bad.
We included Kratos in this, so I got accounting. And it was because he picked Roman to win the main event.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I told you it's possible. Last night I told you guys it was possible. I mean, and
Oh, of course it's possible. That's one of the first messages that we had in our little group the other day. I said, I'm not taking this too competitively. I'm like, this is a predetermined scripted thing that could literally change in the ring. Like, this is not like an actual competition. So,
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know.
It's like, come on, it's wrestling.
There was a 3-way tie for second with AJ, Rose, and Tex. They
And
all
where
had
was
11. Casey, you had 10. I finished with 8.
Trek, give us a little bit of time and we'll send you the link. But so Kratos is the ultimate winner. See, the thing is, what I'm hearing is that the WWE is trying to have more legalizing betting. So they were saying that they're gonna have to have some of these storylines locked down for like months beforehand, so they can't like just turn the storyline on its head, like on like.
yeah, but just because you heard that don't mean it's true. You know.
Oh, true. Good point. I'm just saying.
I mean, depending on the source from where you heard that from, it could be, rock solid or, oh, that's just nonsense. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, the only things they, the only legal way you could really do it is on DraftKings right now, and but
Well, it is what
I
it
think
is.
like they're talking about like maybe go to like your local casino and make bets of wrestling matches. I think that's what they're.
If you do that, no. If I'm going to the casino, I'm not betting on wrestling. I'm gonna be putting chips on the table like a real man. But hey, it is what it is. So, I guess the best way to start this off is, what was everybody's overall thoughts of night 2? Don't get into too much detail because we'll break this down match by match. But what was your overall, Casey? What did you think?
I enjoyed night 1 more than night 2. I mean, night 2 was still
Considering you
good.
slept through half of night 2.
No, I didn't sleep through half of it. I slept during the women's tag team match. Like, I have no opinion about that, and I regret not watching the Intercontinental match. I bet that was probably.
Oh my god,
It was a banger.
That was great.
Yeah, I figured it was going to be good, especially with Gunther and you got Sheamus and Drew McIntyre.
Oh
yeah.
So
those 3 boys were laying into each other like a motherfucker.
All right, well, Compton, what were your overall thoughts on the night?
I thought that night 1 overall was better, but night 2 had some solid bangers.
Okay.
I would have liked to have seen where.
Oh, sorry.
I would have liked to have seen where Finn Balor was leaking from, but they kept the cameras turned away from him as soon as they said he was bleeding. So that sucked.
I'm guessing that it was like high on the forehead because he kept grabbing up there. That's the only guess that I could really make out for anything because, I mean, with the black hair and the paint on the face, it obviously covered up and they obviously stopped the bleeding of whatever it was whenever he took that shot to the face with the ladder. But, yeah, I don't know.
Well, we got someone snuck into the show. What's up, Mikkel?
Oh, God, it's going to take
Jesus Christ.
Be right with
Mikkel
Jesus Christ.
Did he just come on and just say he'll be right back?
I believe so.
He's
Special
dying.
fucking Olympics, I swear to God.
Jesus.
All right,
Can you repeat that question, Tex? Because I'm still
Yes.
mind blown by the fucking what just happened.
Yes. What were your overall thoughts on night 2? Like I said, don't get into the
I prefer night
specifics,
1 over.
but you know.
No, I prefer night 1 over night 2. They need to stop with these 2-night WrestleManias because it's.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Really?
Enough is enough. Yeah.
I agree. Yes.
I really enjoy having 2 nights because
There was you could have shortened. Okay, we don't need showcase tag team matches just to get people on the show. You could have completely gotten rid of those and put both nights into one and had a great show. But they stretched it out to make money. That's all
I
it was.
agree.
If the card from top to bottom on both nights is fitting, then do 2 nights. But on a situation like they was in tonight or this weekend, yeah, you could have done it in one.
Well, okay, look at it this way. You could have gotten rid of the Miz stuff where he just fights a random person that comes out. Cut all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of the showcase tag team matches, or at minimum shorten them.
Get rid of all the filler.
Yeah, I mean, if you just get rid of that right there, you could put everything else in one night. They could have cut down on the women's 6, the Trish Stratus match last night. You could have shortened that thing down. There's no reason why this couldn't have been one night, and it would have been a great show. But
I said if the
overall, night 1 was better, in my opinion.
I think night 1 was better, but night 2 had better matches, which sounds weird.
Give or take, that's debatable.
Well, I say night 2 has better matches. I mean, I love that. I love that Edge match with the Hell in the Cell. That thing. I mean,
that was the original Hell in the Cell too.
No, that was not the original one. That
was not original. That's like an updated. No, it wasn't. If you look, it's like it's taller and the panels are different. The joints in it are different. But I mean, okay, I guess. What were y'all's AJ? What were your top 3 matches for the whole WrestleMania?
Jesus Christ, Mikkel, shut the fuck up.
Jesus Christ, can we kick him off? I swear to God.
Well, Mikkel, you're talking over everyone right now.
We're trying to cover the show, dude.
All right, go ahead and continue.
AJ, what were your 3 matches?
3 matches, I'd have to say probably the 6-man woman match. That was a good one. Charlotte was a good one.
Really?
Yeah,
that's surprising.
Well, it was Trish, seeing her tits. I mean, that was.
Okay, yeah, I can give it. Okay.
I mean, there's a few. Even the Gunther and Sheamus match, that was a good one too, because they were actually fucking slapping each other really fucking hard. That wasn't the fucking fake shit you were seeing. You seen bruises, you seen blood. They weren't playing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's a lot, but I mean, I don't know. It all runs together now. It's like I can't tell what's what anymore with wrestling.
What about you, Compton? What's your 3?
My 3, I would say, would be the tag match that main evented last night. Then you got the Hell in a Cell from tonight. And despite the ending of this one, I fucking hate it. I would still go the main event from tonight.
Respectable. What about you, Casey?
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Oh, definitely the main event tonight. That was probably numero uno, even though I wanted Cody to win. Oh, God.
The ending of that match it made sense because obviously they're stretching that they want Roman to get to that 1,000 day or whatever, like me and Mello were talking about last night.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the problem. What do you? Okay, you literally threw everything at Roman. What do you have to run him over with a cement truck to beat him now? I mean, and I'm not saying specifically for Cody. I'm talking about for anybody. They literally this this match started for me like Rock Hogan. It was that epic of scale. The crowd was into it. Everybody was banging for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And by the end, it had an ending very similar to Sting Hogan Starrcade '97.
Yeah, like
where
we
it's
were
like,
talking about in the
wah,
chat.
wah,
They dropped the
you
ball.
know.
They dropped the ball.
Yeah.
People sit back and say that WCW dropped the ball. Tonight, WWF, WWE
This was
dropped the ball. That was it. They're dead.
I'm not a Cody guy. I mean, I've made no bones about that.
I am.
But they sit there. How many times did they say, finish the story, finish the story, finish the story? My Lord. They're literally sitting here just throwing this at you, and then they just it's like you're about to get laid on a hot date, and she just throws ice water in your lap. You know, and assuming obviously they're going to run this back at SummerSlam or whatever, right?
Yep, my backyard. It's going to be.
What do you do?
Yeah.
What do you assuming that you actually have Roman lose? I mean, if the plan is to just Roman win for forever, then you might as well tell us now.
Yeah, so we can stop watching.
Right.
I think what it is, well, I mean, if you watch the match, all he did was cheating. He had Solo cheated.
The Usos.
During the whole match, and then you had the Usos come in.
Usos.
And I thought it was over when they did that, but I thought maybe KO and Sammy would come out, and yeah, they did. So,
I mean, the way this match was booked was perfect, except for the ending. I mean, if they had just had Cody win this match, it would have tied up every storyline that they've been working with on this Bloodline stuff. It would have been wrapped up in a bow perfectly, but they got greedy with it and wanted to push it one more time. And I'm telling you, just like I said last night, if they push it for, once in a lifetime twice, like they did Rock Roman, or not Rock Roman, but Rock Cena, it's going to blow up in their face. You're going to have a lot of upset people. I'm telling you right now.
I think what they did here was make Cody actually look beatable and have him be defeated. And Solo got his little bit of revenge from Cody beating him with the Samoan spike at the very end.
But Solo is an underling though. He should have been affected in when the Usos were there, and then clear all the yes men out of the way to let mano y mano go at it. You make Roman look like crap. Cody looks like an idiot because all he talks about is finish the story. They're going to push the same storylines for the next 2 months till SummerSlam, and people are going to get bored of it.
Don't forget, we also got Backlash next month down in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, but I guarantee you, Roman's not going to be there. I mean, he doesn't have. He doesn't have to be there all the time. But I think the solution is it's going to be a match in the Hell in a Cell. That's the only way they're going to stop from all the cheating.
They'll find some way to do it again, Casey, and cheating. They'll break the the chain to do it.
That or someone will be under the ring.
Yeah, or under the ring.
They could have made a moment here. I mean, how epic would it have been for all of these storylines to finally wrap up? But they did the typical greedy thing that they normally do to try to squeeze that rag a little bit more, right? And anything that they do now is going to be less than. There's no way it's going to be as good. They could have created another Rock Hogan, Bret Hart, Stone Cold type moment, but they screwed the pooch on this deal.
Because this man has won the pool, I brought him in. I brought in Prado.
Here we go. Hi. I'll take my flowers digitally. Thank you.
Yep, you won, Kratos. You thought right by picking Roman.
Oh, he's a mark.
Tiebreaker.
Now, I'll admit they could have handled this a lot better. This was not good to end it like that.
I think it was still a good show.
Kratos, let me ask you, are you a WWE mark or a AEW mark?
It depends.
No, it's a yes or no question. AEW or WWE?
Like I said, it depends on whether or not I'm getting good wrestling or not, personally.
I'm just going to assume AEW.
Oh, no. Because the only thing that was good about my time at like Dynamite last week happened on Rampage with Marina Shafir getting her socks thrown back at her like John Cena in One Night Stand 2006. That was the only good thing about that fucking night.
Well, yeah, they booked it. That Roman Cody match was, it was built up perfectly. The crowd was there for it. Everybody was in anticipation. Roman's got 900 and blah, blah, blah days. Cody's here to finish the story. It was, like I said, going into it, it was Rock Hogan. And it left out Sting versus Hogan with a finish that should not have ever happened that way.
Yeah, I said, the finish could have been a hell of a lot better. It didn't need to go like that.
I think the reason why they did that, I think it was getting too obvious that Cody was going to win. So that's why they pulled the swerve on us.
Here's what you get now. Now you get 2 more months of Cody talking about his daddy and hard times and whining on TV. And people are not going to tune in for it. They're obviously going to tune in tomorrow night for Raw. But 4 weeks from now, the numbers will be back to where they normally are. Yep. And people are going to get bored with it.
I honestly think this will be another Bret Hart moment where he's whining to management like he did in '97 with Stone Cold.
Yeah.
It's becoming like that right now.
They may think, okay, what's the difference in 944 days and 1,000 in the long run? There's not much, really. Either way,
a month and a week and a half.
Either way, if Roman dropped it tonight or not, he's still going to be known as one of the greatest of all time. People, that 60 days is not going to determine him being there or not. And they could have made a moment that would have lasted forever. Now what they have is, they shit the bed right there. That was, good luck with that one. You know what I mean? So.
Yep.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that ending for sure. I'm like, I wish they went with Cody because he was coming out of it like he was. Obviously, he was going to go for his 3rd crossroad in a row, but he took forever to do it. Obviously, give Solo enough time to do the spike on him.
See, maybe this was. See, the best thing I can figure out here is Roman gets that 1,000-day title reign, whatever, and they kind of make Cody earn it just a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like, this is kind of like that. Oh yeah, well, creating AEW, now you get to get embarrassed on a national level or something. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Big T brought up a good point. They really are trying to push this Puerto Rico Backlash pay-per-view to be a big deal. So, but I'm betting money Roman's not going to be there because he's not at every pay-per-view.
If they wanted to get back, I think I was texting in the group. I know me and AJ were talking about. I don't know if it's a private text or a group text, but it was yesterday. I was saying, if you like, I'm a very casual fan when it comes to this stuff, and if you wanted to turn the casual audience back to a hardcore one, you put Cody over here and you play the whole Braun Breaker angle because that would bring back a lot of casual fans. All of those casual fans that were watching this nonsense tonight are not going to tune in 3 weeks from they're not going to be there.
Yeah, that kind of pissed me off tonight. I think I'm
Right.
gonna have to slow down on a little bit of this shit now.
Well, it's just it's like you climb the mountain and you're like one step from reaching the top, from getting to where you can take that picture, right? And you just decide to just go down. It's kind of what it felt like. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, do you think this has anything with Vince? Because there's
Oh,
rumors.
speaking of that, yeah, Tex. Tex is he's our news reporter, Generous. Tell us about the news, Tex, that you found out. You were talking about in the group chat.
Well, and the group that owns UFC, Endeavor, this was reported by the Hollywood Reporter. I mean, a very credible news source that only puts out something unless it's legit. There's very serious talk about them buying WWE and combining it with UFC. Now, the question is obviously, there's been wrestling companies in the past. Which MMA outfit was it that TNA was operating with a few years ago? Was it? No, it was the one that was on Spike. What was the name of that one?
That was the
Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, the Ultimate Fighter.
No, it wasn't Ultimate Fighter. It was it was a Bellator. I think the name of it was.
Bellator.
I think it was Bellator. Well,
yeah.
Obviously we know WWE's for sale, and if the Hollywood Reporter's coming out and talking about Endeavor buying it to combine with UFC, obviously it's not going to get all mixed together. They would be like a sister brother company to one another, but that would put them in really good hands and a lot better than some Saudi prince who's liable to start cutting people's heads off. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if anybody wants to report, right? If anybody wants to report, just go to the Hollywood Reporter's Twitter account. It's on there. Maybe AJ or somebody within the group could tweet it out or something. I'm on my phone right now.
I think Big T was talking about it. He told me that they were going to buy 51% of the WWE, so they'll be.
Well, that's all you have to buy. I mean, that's all you got to.
That's all they need to be majority holder. That's it.
Yeah.
Right. What I mean, if the Endeavor Group is to actually buy WWE, would that I'm curious to see how that. Do they end up on like a ESPN Plus thing like UFC?
Probably.
Is this how is this breakdown going to shake out? I mean, obviously with Roman winning tonight, you have this big legacy champion, 1,000-day title runs, everything, whatever. Now, I don't think that affects the sell price at all because the company is what it's going to be, no matter who's the champion. But I think more than anything, it might affect it negatively because you're going to have a lot of people not tuning in because of what happened tonight when they've heard for the last 3 months, finish the story, finish the story, finish the story, and you didn't finish the story, So I don't know. I think it's...
Guarantee you they dragged this to SummerSlam.
Oh, 100%. Oh, I mean, that's what me and Mello were talking about last night. I mean, him and I laid it out, where Cody loses here. They, continue to play it out. And then maybe at this point, who else? There is literally nobody else for Roman to go against in this company.
Well, Randy.
Unless you call up Braun Breaker, but I don't see that happening for a little bit.
They're not going to call up him to go against a level of Roman Reigns and have it be credible. The only person who was credible was Cody Rhodes at this point.
Yeah. If built right, I think Randy, with him being a multi-time champion and in the same boat as Cody, Randy's third generation, if booked right and the story is told right, it could very well be Randy.
But they don't have time to book it to where it's believable by a SummerSlam.
We got some breaking news from the Casey Frog. I don't know how accurate this is. It's Tex versus AJ in a pink thong match at Backlash.
Pass.
That sounds like a weird fantasy of whoever that is. So enjoy that. But either way, I don't know. Like I said, they should have pulled the trigger on this tonight. They made a mistake here.
Oh, I agree.
Once that third crossroad was about to get hit, I honestly thought I had lost. But either way, do y'all believe? And this is what I've been thinking about. People were saying that Solo was late to his cue to hit that Samoan spike. Do you think they may have had a Papa Shango moment in Solo Sikoa tonight?
Well, he took forever to do it. I mean,
because why would Heyman get on the turnbuckle if he got hit?
So, he missed his cue.
There was quite a few mishaps in timing tonight. I mean, I think obviously the most notable is the Shane McMahon injury. That whenever he landed, that leg went sideways. That looked nasty. That was like, holy crap, that wasn't supposed to happen. And you knew it was.
People are saying he tore his quad. I'm like,
you knew it was a legit injury because they cut away immediately and focused on Miz's face
the whole time.
That's like they did the same thing in the Edge match with Finn Balor. Whenever Finn Balor started bleeding or whatever, they cut tight on Edge's face. So, but I mean, there was that botch in the women's title match. There was a couple times where timing with Bianca and Asuka was just off bad. You could tell the spots. Oh yeah, that was a horrible match. That
was just completely off. Plus, in my honest opinion, Charlotte and Rhea had the better women's title match.
Mm-hmm. I'll give you that.
That match last night was.
I agree with that.
If it wasn't for the epicness of Hell in the Cell and the IC match, that match would have been in my top 3. But those other 2 matches were so good, it didn't make it. But I mean, as far as Solo's timing, I don't know that he's not a very graceful athlete. I mean, when he's doing anything, he doesn't have the best of timing or whatever.
Well, he is a big guy. I mean,
oh yeah, it's going to take a minute for him to get his fat ass up there. It is what it is, but
I hope he doesn't end up. I hope he has a long career. Doesn't end up somewhere along the lines of Yokozuna or something like that,
or Umaga,
too much and shit.
I mean, a lot of them Samoans are fat asses. Man, they don't live long, so we'll see. But I mean, it is what it is.
Umaga did. I mean, I think he had.
Umaga was 38 when he died, I believe.
Was it drug overdose or was it a heart attack? I mean, it's probably related with both.
Yokozuna was in his 30s when he died as well.
Wow.
His problem was obesity.
Oh, definitely. He was huge.
Solo's going to be more of that Umaga type. Because look at his moveset. It is exactly Umaga.
His Moan Spike.
Yeah.
The little hip attack he does. You got a younger Umaga in Solo Sikoa. Yeah.
Well, let's go to this one match at a time. So let's start at the beginning here. Omos Brock. Compton, what did you think of the match?
Omos and Brock, I thought it was just a spectacle match because people wanted to see Lesnar F5 and take Omos to Suplex City. It was merely there for the spectacle of seeing that. I wasn't expecting it to be a knockdown, drag-out Dave Meltzer 5-star classic. No way.
Oh, we knew that.
But it was exactly.
I can guarantee you Meltzer's giving us 3 stars.
It was a spectacle. Lesnar took him to Suplex City. Lesnar F5'd him. That was it.
Well, I'm hoping they'll stop using Omos. This is his second WrestleMania he's been in and he lost.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
hopefully,
think about it like this. Think about it like this. The last time Omos was used in a program was against Braun in Saudi. Before January, he was back on TV. Think about it like that. He wasn't seen for months since
because
Saudi.
Vince, well, I'm hearing Vince got into Triple H's ear and saying, "Hey, I want Omos versus Brock Lesnar," and Brock Lesnar did not want to do the Bray Wyatt match, so he's like, "Well, we're getting too close to WrestleMania, so I'm just going to listen to this right now, just to give Brock Lesnar a match, you know."
Well, Brock has been on record saying he'll only listen to Vince when it comes to his matches anyway.
I wouldn't mind seeing those two tied up again. I think they left a little bit on the table here. I liked what I saw. It was entertaining. It was, like Compton said, it was a spectacle match. It was, you know, it was giant versus giant. It's not a technical masterpiece, but for a more casual audience who just wants to see, you know, a new version of Andre versus Hogan, or, you know, pick your spectacle type guys. I mean, you saw the response that Brock Lesnar still gets from the crowd. I mean, he's still huge, and you know that's why he's worth the investment. He's worth whatever headache you have to put up with to have him on the card. You know what I mean? And it was, the match went short. I was surprised that one F5 was enough. Maybe that's all Brock can do because that dude's so freaking big. Getting him up twice was just impossible. Maybe that's what it was. But
you barely got him up.
Right, well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So maybe, but here's the problem: who do you book Omos against next? If Brock Lesnar could barely beat him, who else is going to even have a chance? You know what I
mean? That's a good question. I can't answer that. I mean,
I don't know if they've had Braun Strowman go against Omos. I'm not sure.
I think
they did. Saudi.
Yeah.
Did they? Okay. So
Braun won. One power slam.
Oh, Braun won? Okay. Well, if you're on, pretty much Omos is going to be one of those guys that you can only book him in Freak of the Night segment to come look at the gigantic guy. You know what I mean? You know.
He also faced Lashley, lost to one Dominator, I think.
Well, you know, Omos is not. He's not like the Giant or Big Show, or that's the same person. What am I talking about?
You mean Andre and Big Show?
Yeah, he's not like an Andre or a Big Show. Where, I mean, we've seen he's not a Kane or an Undertaker, where he works well with a lot of people. Undertaker had really good matches with smaller guys. Omos can't really do that. You know what I mean?
Oh, Brock Lesnar has great matches with little guys too. I mean,
right, because his talent is on the next level. That's my point. But Omos is he has very limited upside with what he can do, because pretty much the only thing he can do is whatever somebody's doing to him, and he just responds to it. He's one of those kind of guys. You know what I mean?
Kind of like Tiny Lister when he was in SummerSlam against Brutus and Hogan.
I would say Omos is more of the Great Khali type.
Very similar, yeah. But even Great Khali had some personality to him. Omos doesn't even have that. I mean, Omos is so stupid, MVP has to take his stupid looking head wrap thing off for him. He can't even do that himself. You know what I mean?
He needs MVP to wipe his ass when he's done shitting, probably. It's like, look, he comes out of the stall. He's like, "All right, MVP, wipe my ass for me."
Right. Can you imagine the size shits that he takes? Good Lord. I bet he has to take a crap in the tub just to, for the size of it. You know what I mean?
See, I always have this weird. Like when I go to the bathroom and when someone can stand up and their head is taller than the stall wall, I feel like I don't want someone to be right there next to me like that. So like
Are
me
you
just
really that? Are you really that worried about some dude peeping in on you, Casey? Is that your one big worry and concern?
is that a pet peeve? Yes, I would say yes. But I mean, it's one of those weird things I have. Like I
I
just
would say
don't
that's
trust.
very weird. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very weird.
I've never
But
been in a stall wondering, oh, I hope somebody doesn't look in on me. I've never had that worry or thought. But I don't know.
I mean, it's not the weirdest thing in the world. It could have been. There could have been a lot weirder stuff.
Casey's
But
the guy that looks in the goddamn glory holes in the bathrooms.
it's like, hold on, what's this hole here for? And then a dick just hits me right in the eyeball.
Hey, you heard it. Ain't the first time it's happened to Casey is Raw.
But I think honestly, the best way you could do with Omos is probably put him against like someone like AJ, and or
They already did that, though.
yeah, well, I'm just saying someone who's athletic who's gonna bump all over him, and like maybe like Rey Mysterio.
What? Have Ray?
Oh, wait. Hang on, wait. Can we wrap him up in toilet paper and he can be the Yeti too or something? That would be entertaining.
No, that's the Yeti Junior.
Oh yeah, he can be son of Yeti. You know,
The son of Yeti.
he comes after Hulk Hogan to avenge his father or something. That
That's
would be
right. There you go.
you know, have a Hulk Hogan come out, you know, for like a reunion show, right? And the son of Yeti is here, and then like the son of Yeti can dry hump Hogan or whatever, you know, and they can do the whole thing. But
no, he'll be dry humping Roman now.
oh yeah. Somehow I don't think Roman's going to be up for that. Okay, well I guess let's just get to the get to one of the snoozers of tonight, the women's four-way. AJ, what were your thoughts? That was kind of mine. The only thoughts that I had were, ooh, look at Chelsea Green, she's hot.
I was more staring at Shotzi.
She's hot.
I was more looking at Shotzi the whole time. Shut up, you mongoloid. That's my woman.
It was pretty obvious who was going to win. Once Ronda and them were,
son of a bitch.
What?
I said it was pretty obvious who was going to win when Ronda and Shayna were like not even in it till 2 seconds at the end to do their little portion and get the win. I thought that was pretty obvious, but
it was pointless. That match was pointless.
They didn't have to qualify to get in.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, what the hell happened to Shayna's boot?
The what?
To what?
To Shayna Baszler's boot. At the end of the match, she had one boot off.
Must have came off like when she was.
I didn't see that she had one off.
In the ring,
I guess I didn't notice that.
Well, I didn't notice it either, but I was asleep, so I
was going to say Casey was in dreamland. Casey was off to Never Land at this point. He was
women.
Casey was screaming at Nia Jax sitting on his face.
No,
it was Nia Jackson and Nyla Rose. There you go.
I just woke up and was like, oh, that match is done, and they had the Intercontinental title match. I was like, and next thing I know, that I fell back to sleep, and Gunther won. I was like, oh shit.
Well,
one
of the things that I did notice, the two, whoever was the legal competitors at the time, even without tagging, it seemed to just change willy-nilly. Like, oh, these two were in the ring. Now they're legal. You know, like the rules were very fast and loose with this thing. Like, that's one thing that I did notice about it. There was a couple times where
the four-way was more organized and put together and thought out.
Well, this felt like a pre-show match that they just put on the main card is what it felt like.
Oh,
you know what? Talk about that. They don't even fucking do that anymore. They didn't have it on. They don't do that. I mean, they could easily, like you guys said that you want to merge it. They could put some of these matches on the pre-show. The pre-show's 2 hours.
I don't even watch the pre-show. I'm not going to sit there. I got enough commercials during the pay-per-view. I don't need commercials beforehand. I mean, the amount of commercials that they run in these things now is freaking ridiculous. I mean, my God.
Granted, that was
Peacock. The movie one was completely like unnecessary with that Pope's Exorcist crap. I'm like, are they shilling this?
No, I like that.
That was interesting.
That fit. I disagree with that completely. I mean, we'll get to that match when we talk about it, but for me, that was the only part of the sponsorship that worked. The rest of it, how many Intel or Intuit tax crap did we need to see?
I hated that.
I was
how many times
to show up? To be honest,
how many times did we need to see an advertisement for WWE when we're already watching WWE? What? Really? I mean, it's like advertising a movie while you're in the movie. Like, I'm already here. You've already got my money. You're not going to get any more. You know, I know WWE Shop is running a 25% sale. You've already ran the commercial 15 times. We don't need you anymore. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
Not going to lie. I watched the pre-show just to stare at Caleb Braxton.
I don't have jungle fever, so I'm not into it. So, you know, it is what it is. But, yeah.
Well, you know what really pissed me off? Like, when I remember last year, I was at Wrestlemania, and I think they said half off on titles. And I was like, oh, you know what would have been nice if they would have had that at the show. Like, if for the people who were actually there. And, you know, I can understand they're trying to get as much money there, but they fucked the people who were there.
Considering, I mean, I've been to One Mania, I've been to other sporting events. You know, most times when you go to an event, I mean, I don't know if everybody's like this, but I know with me, like if I'm going to a football game or a wrestling event, I normally get my merch on the way into the place. Like, you know, I get there, I park, I get in the front door. The first thing I'll do is maybe hit the bathroom, hit the merch stand, and then grab food. And then I go to the event. I don't normally take a break in the middle of it or afterwards to go spend my money. You know what I mean?
Oh, hell no, because at that time, all the merch stand and food vendors, all that shit, their lines are 1.5 miles long.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird. I don't know. I feel like they probably make more money in the beginning of the show than they do at the end. It seems that way.
When I went to the SmackDown on Veterans Day last year, as soon as I got in, I went, got my stuff that came with this chair. I got my food and drinks. Then I was in my seat the whole damn time. I didn't leave my seat once I got down there.
Right. Well, that's my point. Yeah.
Because I knew that during the piss break matches, the vendors with the souvenir stand would be backed up, and so would the food stand. So I was like, I'm not bullshit. I'm going as soon as I get into my seat.
Yeah. See, that's when, honestly, you had to go to, if you wanted to go to get food or get to the merchandise, you probably had to do it during a good match. And you hate to do that, but a lot of times they'll have the TV screen. They're playing the matches anyways.
Right.
So you could still watch it and you can get your merchandise and shit like that.
I'd rather be in my seat, especially for what I paid to get this seat. I'd rather be in my seat the whole damn time.
True. Hey, I gotta go, okay? So I got an important business to take care of.
All right, congrats.
Have a good one.
Thanks. See you.
Well, I don't think anybody else really cares about the women's 4-way, so we'll actually talk about a good one. The Intercontinental 3-way Gunther, Sheamus, and McIntyre. Boy, I tell you what, that was a good one. They weren't holding back on that deal. They were going to have a just. They were just looking to fight, and I mean, I know that's the whole shit, gimmick that Sheamus has. He's the fight night guy, or whatever. But Casey, what did you think about that one?
Oh, I was asleep.
Of course you were. All right, AJ, what did you think about it?
That was the only good match, in my opinion, for night 2.
Really? Okay.
Because it was actually I liked the toe to toe, man. Like they actually were shooting on each other. They weren't fucking playing that fake slap shit. They were actually laying in on one another.
A lot of times when they slap them on the chest, they're doing that for real. I mean, you see when they're like, their chest is red, that they're doing that shit for real.
Yeah, but these 3 are way different than the others in WWE. These 3 actually are like down to fucking just start fucking you up regardless. They're like a different breed. Like they could fucking take Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, and probably fucking anybody else to the woodshed.
So you say that was the one thought that I had, was like, I want to see Gunther versus Brock Lesnar now.
Gunther could do it. He could probably take Brock to the woodshed.
I still say Lesnar could take him, but I think if you put those two in like a last man standing or something, you have my attention, because those two are going to kill each other.
Bitch. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like I think isn't he like 26 years old or some shit? He's young.
Yeah. He looks older than that.
But I'm just saying, like, Brock Lesnar's in his fucking, like, 40s, and you put fucking a young half his age in there, I mean, I think fucking it would be pretty good. I mean, plus, Gunther, literally, you seen fucking what Sheamus and fucking Drew did to him, and fucking he just stood there and took it, like, you didn't phase him.
My question for everybody on the call. Would you rather take one slap from Gunther or take the 10 beats from Sheamus?
Oh, I'll take the 10 beats, because those look fake as hell. He's just barely tapping his forearm on.
Hell, look, what was it? Huh? Wasn't it 29 and a half fucking slaps that fucking Drew took from fucking Sheamus? Like, that was crazy.
It was 30.
No, I thought the 29 was the Sheamus arm thing on Drew McIntyre.
That's what
we're saying.
Would you rather take
from Gunther? Yeah, no, I would much rather take those, because you can obviously tell he's pulling back when he's hitting you with that arm. When they're slapping with that palm, that's a shoot. They're not working that. They're looking to slap the air out of your chest. Like, they're making that look real.
What about you, Casey?
I was asleep.
Would you answer the question, though? Would
you sorry. I was spaced out for a second. You know what? I'll take a chop from Gunther. Just one.
Well, he will knock you in the middle next week with that chop.
I just want one chop. That's it. But let me say hi to a bunch of people who's in the chat. We didn't get a chance to do this last night, and we're not got a chance to.
Apparently, Gunther's 35, AJ, according to Big T.
I believe that, but I'm not. Let's say we got Big T, we got Robert, Emily's in the chat. I know we have. Oh, got Crazy Blade. I didn't see him. We got the Casey Frog. I know I've seen Steve Callan and Trekopedia. And it looks like that's about it right now that I saw in the chat. I just want to say hi to everyone. So,
well, go ahead.
And we got Anani came in at the very end.
How's it going, Anani?
Hey, what's up, Anani?
Well, one thing I will say for this match was it didn't try to be more than it was. You knew you were going to get a knockdown, drag out fight between three dudes that wanted to kill each other. And it was just, they weren't worried about the work rate and what the star rating was going to be. And they didn't, get their gym floor routine in. They just went out there to kill each other. And that's what pro wrestling is, or should be. When it was good, that's what it was. And, it just, I thought, up until that Hell in a Cell match, that was my favorite match. And I loved it. That's one of those that I don't often go back and watch or go back and rewatch old wrestling matches. That's one I might actually go back and rewatch. I thought it was done really well.
I definitely want to go back and watch that.
You need to go watch it, Casey. Go watch it completely rested and go to your doctor and deal with whatever is causing you to sleep 15 hours a day, because that's not natural. Something is wrong with you. So, go figure that crap out.
You know what's bad? I got up at 3:30 yesterday in the afternoon. My mom was freaking out. She's like, "Why aren't you calling me?" I was like, "I just woke up."
I think I know how Casey's going to die. He's just going to die in his sleep.
Sounds like
somebody's going to find him dead in his bed one day. That's how Casey's going to die, right? I'm predicting it. I'm predicting it. However, Casey does it. Whatever you do. I don't know the official motions, but
this is what happens when he dies. Fucking Betty White sees him and fucking slaps the shit out of him, and then he goes to hell.
Betty White escorts him to hell. That's what Betty White's going to do. Be like, God let me, since you killed me, God let me send your ass to hell. You know what I mean?
Well, I let the bitch be live for 99 years. Are you saying she's going to try to off me off? She had
karma's a bitch.
Oh yeah. Number one, there's no way you're making 99. And number two, she's definitely going to escort you to hell. That's two things I can clearly state. That's besides but no, like I said, get the CPAP machine. I know you don't want to sleep like Darth Vader, but my God, maybe you'll be fully rested enough to get up before 4:00 in the afternoon. Jeez. But either way.
Getting back on track.
Granted, there's a couple times we've been going late, so I like sleeping. I'm awake now. I stay awake enough to go to work and do my hobbies.
Well, either way.
And one of my
is there anything else that y'all would like to mention about the Intercontinental match? Any other thoughts? Any whatever?
It was a knockdown, drag-out banger, just like Sheamus always promised. He is now in that groove where he says he's going to give us banger after banger. That guy does not lie. He is giving us banger after banger after banger.
I didn't realize that he had never won the Intercontinental title before. I didn't know that till today.
Well, he also never won the Universal title, so I'm like, yeah. But I noticed one thing. Did you notice all the titles that changed last night, right? Every title changed last night. Today, it's the exact opposite. None of the titles changed.
Wait, did every title change last? I don't think so.
Yeah, last night they did.
No,
the U.S. title belt did not change last night. Austin Theory won.
You're right. That's the only one.
Let's see. The Ray Dom wasn't for a title. The men's 4-way, not a title. The women's tag titles were not on the line last night.
I thought there were more than that. Huh.
No,
Stop it.
Rhea won her title last night, and the men's tag title changed last night.
Yeah.
But the United States belt did not switch hands.
Okay. I swear I thought they all, like, there was more than just two change.
Well, that's why, I mean, when we were talking about last night about how Rhea won, that's why I picked Bianca to retain. Because they're not going to switch both women's championship single titles on one pay-per-view. They never do that. I have never seen them do that.
It just seems like that my picks were the exact opposite this night. I got 6 out of 1, and I got I swear I only got 1 right today.
Well, since since it's the next match and the point I was going to bring up, we'll go to the women's title match, and I'll start with this one. I'm not an Asuka fan. I don't get it. I don't think she's that much better than everybody else. I've never seen it. But I knew she wasn't going to win just based on, obviously, Rhea winning last night. But number 2, she's not an effective champion in America because you can't understand her. She doesn't speak English. She's got, just like Great Muta coming out for the Hall of Fame. I don't speak English well, but the guy knew 5 words. It's the reason why you've never. I think the longest title reign Asuka ever had was NXT, and she never said a word. I mean, it doesn't get over with the crowd. You need your champion to be able to go on TV, and do interviews, and do this and do that. She can't do that. She doesn't speak English. It's like half of the skills you're supposed to have, she doesn't have because she won't learn English. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's a little bit more let on that she doesn't. I mean, honestly, her first language is, Japanese. And
right.
I think
but if you're going to come to America where we speak English, freaking learn English.
I think she probably has more English than she lets on. But
if she does, then she's doing herself a disservice by not using it.
Yeah.
I think it's just the character. She needs to be play as her Japanese self. That's what I think.
Well, go ahead.
No, it's kind of like how Shinsuke Nakamura. I mean, he talks English, but
but he didn't have a long title run either, did he?
He didn't even have a world. Well, he didn't win the world title. He got the Intercontinental title a few times.
It's just when you eliminate half of the skill, it doesn't. I mean, it's the same. I mean, people used to criticize Eric Bischoff about not putting the luchadors over the top, but I mean, if a foreigner doesn't translate to a different audience as well as somebody that's homegrown, that's just the way that it is. And, it would be like one of us going over to Japan and not speaking the language. We're not going to get over it as well. You know what I mean?
I've been there. And the communication was extremely difficult.
Right. Well, I mean, if you can't do the basics of communicating, how do you expect to get over? People always. I mean, it's how many times was it brought up about Rey Mysterio? I mean, he got over despite having a mask over his face when your facial expression is one of the key things of how you get to know somebody. He was so good, he got over even despite that. You know what I mean? Hell, that's why Eric Bischoff had him take it off in WCW, which was a stupid mistake. But I see why he did it. I mean, I can understand the why. But
you can still see his facial reaction. I mean, it's obviously I think you bring up a good point. I mean, honestly, Ray can talk English. I mean, he is American. He's just Latino.
Right.
But
That's what I'm saying. He speaks very well. You can understand him. And like I
yeah.
said, even with the face being shown, being not shown, he still got over it. But somebody like Oscar, yeah,
Mm,
she comes out there and talks in her language and ooga booga this, ooga booga that, whatever. I don't speak her freaking tongue. And she makes some funny noises. Yeah, everybody cheers and claps, but at the end of the day, how do you take that seriously? She's the goofy foreign character at the end of it. You know what
I think she was very good. That I thought she was going to win, honestly, but
I mean?
because
I did.
I didn't want Bianca to continue as the women's.
Once I saw Bianca come out with kids, and after John Cena came out there with the Make a Wish retards, there's no way that they were going to disappoint another group of children. When she came out with them dancing little old gals, I thought there's no way she's not winning this thing. Like it was a guarantee at that point for me.
I was second guessing 90% of my picks all fucking night, all weekend.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like they definitely did a 360 for tonight because I think night one was so predictable, while the second night wasn't. It was like they turned everything around.
Yeah.
But look at this.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty predictable. Let's say Frank from the Harsh Truth says Malaysia is home to the largest condom company in the world. A Malaysian condom manufacturer owns one of the largest condom making companies in the world and produces more than 5 billion condoms a year. Well, see, that's the knowledge that you only get on the Harsh Truth there, folks. That's why you tune in and subscribe, because Frank is just a fountain of knowledge.
Hey, Frank, how you doing, buddy?
How you doing,
How
Frank?
does he know about Malaysia is the home of condoms?
Well, I guess you don't know, Frank's Malaysian knowledge rivals none. He knows everything about the nation of Malaysia. So, I mean, he knows it all. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, he said they produce 5 billion condoms a year, but the problem is, how many are they actually being used?
Well, see, Frank, here's the problem. They produced 5 billion condoms, and somehow Casey was still born. Well, obviously, his mama didn't use one. So, I mean,
it could have been a broken condom.
Casey could be a broken condom baby, and not all of the Casey juice got through. That's why we got what we have now. Yeah, this is possible. I could see that happen. You know what I mean?
It's possible. I mean,
like 25% of Casey was left in the rubber, and the rest of it slipped out or something. You know what I mean?
But
I don't know. I thought this match was so many mistimings, so many botches. This was worse than the women's 4 tag team match. I thought. I mean, I know Joe and I kind of went back and forth on that. I thought this was the worst match of the night, or possibly worst match of the whole pay per view, to be honest. But I thought it was bad. And when you go back and look at how good Rhea and Charlotte were, it made this one look even that much worse.
Oh, it did. I'll agree with you there. But the Raw Women's Championship was telling a story about Asuka's submission abilities and Bianca's power games.
Right, but how well are you telling that story when half the moves you're doing, you're messing up timing or botching? How well does that show if that's what the story you're trying to tell?
The story is still there nonetheless. What story was being told in the women's Fatal 4-Way? There wasn't one.
I was taking a crap in the middle of this match, and I still didn't even enjoy it. Even relaxing myself did not make me like this match. Okay, this was my go to the bathroom break match, and it was still garbage.
I think it was okay. I mean, I like you said, I preferred the Rhea Ripley match over this, hands
Oh,
down.
absolutely.
Yeah.
What do you think, AJ? What were your thoughts on this?
Could have been
AJ.
better. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to
Hey,
say AJ's dead, but
Yeah, I was muted because I didn't want to interrupt anybody. No, I was just saying it could have been better. I mean, it was an okay match. I mean, I like everybody else says, the Charlotte and Rhea Ripley match was way better. I mean,
Right.
Asuka and fucking Bianca, they're not that good of wrestlers. I mean, people who really wants Bianca Belair. I mean, I don't understand how Montez Ford deals with her. She's pretty much a man.
Yeah, Bianca. I mean, I've said it multiple times on here, but I am convinced that Bianca Belair is Montez Ford in drag. I still think that's true, but just saying. So I don't know. I was not interested in this match whatsoever. It was. I can't think of a worse match than, at least in the women's 4 tag team match, you had a couple hot pieces of tail running around to look at. In this one, they're both ugly as sin, and nobody was even good at their job. So I thought it was horrible.
well, I think Asuka's a little hot, but
And you're a weirdo, Casey.
No, thank you. Send her back to whatever communist country she came from. We don't need her here. No, thank you.
but
So,
apparently Frank has more condom facts. He says that condoms has set multiple records. Some of these records includes most condoms through the nose at once, the longest condom chain, and of course the longest. I assume that longest condom in length.
it says and length at the end of it. See, Frank, now did you stumble on a Wikipedia page about rubbers and this is how you learn this, or what?
Yeah, he's just trolling the shit out of us right now.
Well, this is Frank from the Harsh Truth, who is an endless supply of wealth and knowledge. That is why, as Tex said, go like and subscribe to his shit and watch him anytime he goes live.
Well,
I still don't understand that. How Casey gets more views than Frank? I don't understand that. We need to get Frank more
I actually
views.
have a theory about that. It's basically the car crash theory. You know, everybody slows it or stops to look at the car crash on the side of the road, right? And you could also use the freak show theory. You know, back in the days when they had freak shows, everybody went to go look at the weirdo, right?
Oh,
I mean,
well, you're saying that Mikel left.
Oh no! Oh darn!
No, I was going to highlight him when you were going to say that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, because back in the days, before television and movies, people would pay a nickel to go to the freak show and laugh at the weirdo, right? So, I think Casey gets views because they see, they know internally, like, this dude was probably like a pretend, jungle boy in a cage or something back in the day. And this is just the modern day version of it. That's what I'm saying right there. You're telling me that you wouldn't go to a freak show and throw bananas at that in a cage? Because I told you.
Speaking of freaking freak shows, what the hell's that retard doing on full screen?
The world is cruel. That's the only thing I can say. But either way. So
we're doing a Make-A-Wish show.
Let's move to the Hell in the Cell. AJ, what did you dislike about this? I'm curious.
I didn't dislike it. Who said I disliked it?
I thought you didn't like the Hell in the Cell.
No. I said the Hell in the Cell itself looked like the original. I never said I didn't hate it. I liked it. It was interesting.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you didn't. I thought you weren't down for this match. Okay.
No.
What did you like about this match? What were your thoughts?
That. Well, first Finn Balor, how he came out to the demon. I thought that was pretty cool. I liked
his the gayest demon I've ever seen.
No. I'm talking about because it's the first one with the Judgment Day. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Like we haven't seen the demon outside of Judgment Day. This is the first time. And I mean, it was interesting just because we haven't seen a Hell in a Cell match since 32, I believe. Like they were saying on
I
commentary.
couldn't tell you. I don't know.
I
Oh,
thought
I think it was like, I think the last one was with Shane, I think.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
and
Maybe. Oh, was that Shane versus Undertaker, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was Shane versus
Yeah.
Undertaker match.
here's my problem with this match. I do have one problem with it, come to think of it. The Demon was supposed to be this invincible person. Now the Demon is lost to Roman and Edge. They are making the Demon look weak.
But they had to. They Finn Balor. This was the end of. This was the payoff of the story. I mean, there's a reason why the Pope's Exorcist was sponsoring this match, and they had Russell Crowe on there talking about exorcising the demon. They told you he was going to win this match before it started, and that's why that was done. I mean, even with the demon losing, they literally put him over on the way out by making him look as it literally took multiple chair shots and a concerto to the head to defeat the demon. You know what I mean?
Still looks weak by losing twice in a row.
I don't think he looks weak, or he does. Okay, well, here's the thing though. You know, obviously the concerto is like the end all be all of stuff in WWE, right? So, you know, when I love the spot where Edge had Finn Balor pinned in the corner with those kendo sticks. I thought that looked really cool.
Oh, it did.
Yeah,
You know, like the brutality of it. I mean, okay, how cool was it seeing Edge come out to Slayer? I mean, AJ has a metalhead. Did you not love that?
Oh, I loved it. It was.
Was that not
I'm
awesome?
trying to talk. Hell yeah, it was. I fucking love Slayer. Slayer. Fucking love.
That's the first thing I thought. I was like devil orange in the air, like let's get this going. Give me some Slayer. You know what I mean?
I
really like that disco helmet he was wearing.
that looked pretty damn cool. Real.
They should have had Slayer play. That would have been awesome, though. If you think about it.
He looked like Cobra Commander with that mirrored helmet thing on. That was the first thought it's what he looked like. You know what I mean?
I think it was badass. It was kind of cool. It was something different. But, you know, everyone and their mother was saying, oh, Gangrel was going to show up. They did mention him, but they're like, I didn't even put in the group chat. It's like, I guess the Gangrel.
Now, how cheesy was it that they had to write Brood Edge on every TV screen in that arena?
Yeah.
Like everybody wouldn't already know.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought that was a little on the nose, a bit much. But I was like, you know, okay, it is what it is. And then he comes out looking like Cobra Commander to Slayer music. And then once I heard Slayer, I was all in on it. And he had like the angel wing. I'm not sure that. Well, I mean, he was obviously playing the devil, you know, because the devil had to exorcise the demon, right? And Lucifer is known to be like the most beautiful, illuminated angel, right? I think that's what that mask was like, because with all of the light reflecting off of it, maybe that's what it's supposed to represent. You know what I mean?
Here's another thing I noticed. When they did the lights out in that arena, it was pointless. There was too much daytime coming through.
Yeah, that they should have had that Hell in the Cell match last night in darkness, because I mean, Joe's exactly right. When they turned all the lights off, the sun was still beaming through the roof in Southern California. It was kind of like when they had Sting come out in daytime for his WrestleMania match. It looked like crap.
That was bad.
It didn't look good. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, because Sting, you imagine lights out and everything, and he comes out daylight.
Sting's whole thing was he's the crow. He stays up in the rafters. He's in darkness. He's whatever, right? Well, how do you have like this cool satanic looking entrance with Edge, when it's bright, sunny California outside. It kind of takes you out of it a little bit. You know?
Oh yeah. So it was. Yeah, I agree. And like, even though this one went, I think was this an hour earlier? They cut an hour off this than last night.
Well, it was about an hour shorter because there was what 2 less matches than last night. There was
Yeah,
6 matches tonight. There was 8 last night. So I mean,
Yeah.
and considering Brock Lesnar and them took like 5 minutes or whatever, I mean, hell, they spent more time on commercials and freaking
Filler.
peacock breaks than they did anything else. You know,
Oh yeah, I hated that shit. I'm like, we're already on Peacock. Why do they have to do that? I mean,
if you eliminated the peacock breaks or the here's what or what would they always say for the Peacock Plus members, here's how we got here, and then they give you 10 minutes of crap you've already seen 100 times. Yeah, it's like
yeah.
this is ridiculous.
And then also you had to have all the fucking film about how we got to this point on every
Right. Well,
fucking
that's what I'm
match.
saying. It's we know it was it to me it would be like getting Superman's origin story showed to you 5 times within the same movie that you're watching. It's kind of what it felt like. Like, okay, we know he was a baby on Krypton, the planet explodes, his ship comes to Earth. We don't need to see it 100 times. We know what the story is. Move forward.
Or
But
it's like they do that on every movie. They're like, just in case you
right.
didn't know
Yeah,
how
just in case you didn't know, Bruce Wayne's parents get shot in an alley. Here, we're going to show you again.
yeah, I'm
But
gonna
it's
show you. But
even though
oh, they kind
even
of
though you
almost.
watched even though
I
you
mean,
just watched a 2-hour pre-show where we showed you every clip and we
yeah.
showed you everything between every match. We're going to show it to you one more time, and we'll talk about it even more when we get to the final match for a further breakdown. But I thought this
Oh,
Hell
and
in a
then
Cell
we'll
match
get,
was fun.
It
and
I
was.
then
thought
we
it was
get.
brutal. Well, it was as brutal as modern wrestling can get. I still don't like. Okay, you're going to give us a Hell in the Cell match with no blood or real violence. That bothers me. You know what I mean?
Well, there was blood, but it was unintentional.
Yeah, but bare. I mean, it was not real blood. It wasn't like gushing out of somebody's head kind of blood. I mean, if I understand this as TV PG. So okay, why are we still PG behind the paywall? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
It's
And did you notice this though about that cell match? Think about every other cell match you've seen. They all end up outside the cell. This one stayed inside the cell.
well, a lot of
Well,
them
Oh,
are doing that
yeah.
nowadays.
even the only time that the cell came into play was a couple times the guys got bounced off of it, and then until Finn Balor jumps off the side, they didn't even take advantage of the cell. It like why was it even there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, then there was a random platform for Finn to
Yeah,
stand on.
like we're just going to put this platform halfway up, just in case. This just happens to be here.
It's like just put it up there for no reason. We're not gonna have. They're not gonna use that.
Right? This is like it's like a support beam for the structure of the cage. This one 2-foot platform holds this whole sidewall together. Like it was one of those kind of things. But
It was. I mean, it'd been nice if, like, maybe it was like an eye beam that he was able to balance himself to make it not obvious. I
it would
mean,
have been more cool if they just had him climb the side and then jump off like Spider-Man. Is what they
yeah,
should have done.
Uh,
It would have looked better.
He could
But
have done.
it is what it is.
He could have very well have done a frog splash or a regular splash instead of going for the coup de grace off of that.
I don't know.
well,
Overall, this was, considering the ending of the title match, this was my favorite match of the whole entire show. I really enjoyed this. You got you got the brutalness. You got to see the kendo stick action. You got some table in there. You got a lot of cool stuff. It had that. It had that satanic evil vibe that I love, and it was a lot of fun to watch. I mean, it was. I wish it was more violent. I wanted more blood. I want to see. If you're going to do Hell in the Cell, then go all the way with it. Don't waste. I mean, they don't do Hell in the Cell very often. I don't think anymore.
Well,
but
they still
that was
don't
one.
they still have the pay-per-view, or
I don't know.
That was one thing I mentioned in our group chat. Was as soon as they said Finn Balor was bleeding, I was wanting to see exactly where the fuck he was leaking from.
I think he was bleeding from like the elbow or something, because
I thought he was bleeding from the head. I could have swore because he took that headshot. I mean, yeah, he did get his hands up, but that ladder didn't hit an elbow. It hit him in the hands and in the head.
Well, it wasn't obvious where it was coming from, because I mean,
all the paint and makeup.
Well, even with the paint and makeup, you're still gonna see blood coming down from your head. I mean, so that's why I'm thinking. I seen a spot where his arm was laying in full blood, so that's why I was thinking it was coming from his arm.
I don't know. Either way, I thought Edge really delivered it. Obviously, Finn Balor. I hate Finn Balor. He's a faggot. I don't care what anybody says. He's a pole smoker if I've ever seen one. But I liked like I said, I liked the darker vibes that this match had. Obviously, with the whole, and I can't wait to see the Pope's Exorcist. That movie looks really cool. I've been wanting a good exorcism movie for a long time, and I actually hope that we get to talk about that one on the Harsh Truth, Frank, because I mean, Russell Crowe as an exorcist, I think that's going to be a fun one, dude. But,
yeah, I think I agree.
That looks like. I mean, with that possessed kid with like crosses all over his face, like, okay, yeah, you have my attention. But I'm looking forward to that movie.
I seen that commercial. Yeah. The very first person I thought of was you, Tex. I was like,
I'm down. Well, and consider.
Did Tex just die?
Oh,
yeah. The new ruin the Halloween movies. I hope so for it. So yeah. So I'm really looking forward to the Pope's Exorcist, but that's for the movie talks for our Thursday shows, not our Sunday night shows. So,
talk about Frank. He brought up, said he might want to talk about the sale of WWE, maybe a story he wants to touch this week.
Yeah, I sent that to him too. Whenever I found it for the entertainment aspect of it, I sent him that. Like whenever I saw it, I mean, I don't know if he saw it before I sent it or not. But,
I heard.
Whenever I saw that in the timeline, I was like, "Holy crap, this is huge!" Because, I mean, if they can, this is a story that on Wednesdays and Fridays y'all need to keep up on, because there's going to be a lot to this. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely, especially if it does happen. And you know what? I figure if they're going to make the sale, they're going to do it after WrestleMania so they can get their last payday before they can.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, squeeze out the best one at the right time. But, I mean, for the Hollywood Reporter to come out and say this, they wouldn't come out and say this if it wasn't really close. I will say that. So,
well, it's a little bit more legit than some random person going on.
Right.
And saying,
I mean, this isn't JoeBlow.com talking, somebody's cousin heard a rumor. This is a credible news source. So,
right. I mean, because that Saudi Arabia sale came out of nowhere, and it's flashed on Twitter, like on social media.
Yeah.
This is more of a news network.
Well, I'm gonna look into it more. I mean, especially if Frank wants to cover it on Thursdays. But yeah, I would, for Wednesdays or Fridays for y'all, I would highly recommend that y'all keep an eye on it.
Oh, definitely.
Obviously, any info I get, I'll send y'all's way as well. But I mean, yeah, that's some pretty good stuff. But I mean, we've already talked about it a little bit, but I think we should go back and just run it through again. The Cody Roman match. I mean, obviously,
Oh, you don't want to talk about the Snoop Dogg versus Miz match?
No, well. Well, what did y'all think about the Shane McMahon injury? What did y'all think about that?
That sucked. Because
Yeah,
I was
like
happy.
Shane on that.
I turned away for 1 second to get a damn drink, and all of a sudden I see Snoop fighting. I was like, what the hell did I miss?
Hey, Snoop can throw a hell of a right hand. I'll give him that much credit. The dude can throw hands for a scrawny dude. I didn't figure he could fight, but hey, you know what? He ain't too bad. So I don't know.
I was like, Shane's just getting too old to do hopping around like he did, and just
He was completely blown up by the time he got to the ring and got on the microphone.
Yeah.
I mean, look at him. I mean, he's old. He's like 50 plus.
Right.
He's got to be like at least years older than I am. So, but I wasn't shocked that when it happened because he was bouncing around everywhere still.
Yeah, no, when he was doing that little hop thing that he likes to do, I kind of took him out of it.
Oh yeah, I mean, like you said, it blown him up. So I was like, I would love to see him versus take Punk out the Miz, but it was amazing they had a impromptu match with him and Snoop Dogg. I was wondering if that was supposed to happen later on, or if that was impromptu.
Pretty much the point of Snoop going was to fill the time required in that spot since Shane hurt himself.
Yeah.
That was the whole point in Snoop even throwing hands.
Well, if you go back and watch it, you can hear the referee telling Snoop to hit Miz. And
really?
Oh yeah, you can hear it. The only reason that I caught it was because I had my earbuds in, right? So I mean, you could literally hear him call the spot and tell Snoop to act, and that's why he did what he did. But yeah, he was calling a spot for him to cover up.
They're probably the referee is like, "Hey, do this, do that, and real quick, and just end it."
Yeah.
Like I said,
well, I mean, it was good for a impromptu stunt. I wouldn't even call that a fucking match. I mean, he's a former two-time WWE champion, and he could get punked out by Snoop Dogg,
and Pat McAfee.
Yeah, true.
All right, now let's get on to the main event. What did you all think of Roman and Cody?
I really enjoyed it, minus the end of it. If you ask me.
I really thought the Roman and Cody match was good. It told a story. They both gave each other their best shots. Spears, multiple crossroads, the Cody cutter. Nothing could keep Roman down. So then it was about what does it take to keep Roman down. The next thing you know, the Usos come in. Sammy and KO come in to level the playing field. Then Solo gets ejected. And next thing you know, he is back pulling the Sammy and Kevin gimmick of where.
Well, hang on a minute. I have to respond to Mr. Harsh Truth here in his George Kittle little comment. If he was trying to tackle a Dallas Cowboy, his shoulder would have fell apart. He wouldn't have made it out of the wrestling ring. So your San Francisco 49er faggots can suck one because we all know they like to do that. All right, Frank? So go Cowboys. your 49ers suck, and yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Don't make me get the foam finger out because I will. All right, so just saying. Sorry to interrupt, but I had to right or wrong about this George Kittle nonsense. So, and
I would be shocked
for the
about this
record,
one where he says the inventor of the Pringles was buried in a Pringles can. That wouldn't shock me, though. That one.
hey, one thing I will say for Miz, he may have gotten buried by Snoop Dogg and George Kittle and Pat McAfee, but he gets to go home and have sex with Maurice. So who's the real winner here? Come on now.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, he's rich. He's got a smoking hot wife. He wins. He wins, no matter what. So
He doesn't even fight that much anymore.
He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to. Miz is smart. He's not one of these work rate monkeys that goes out there and kills themselves every week for no reason. He gets to be in crappy B movies. He shows up on TV every once in a while, and he gets to bang out Maurice. He's a genius. He figured it out.
Hey, he definitely got lucky.
I mean,
I think I would be safe to say we all are a bit jealous of Miz in that aspect.
oh,
Absolutely.
if I were able to switch like my existence with somebody else's in the professional wrestling world, Miz is my answer. He's got the money, he's got Maurice, and he's got all of it. He's got it. As they say in the great state of Texas, he's got a bird nest on the ground, man. He's got it all, you know what I mean? So, how could you not want to be Miz? Yeah, a bunch of sweaty, neck-bearded wrestling guys don't like you because you don't kill yourself on a weekly basis. But you get to bang out Maurice, and you've got a lot of money. What more do you need in life?
I wonder if she screams in French when she's getting banged.
If there's ever a sex tape, I'll make sure to watch it and tell you. All right, I'll be the first one to view it. So it is what it is. But Miz can get buried by Pat McAfee and the San Francisco queer baits and the whatever, but he still gets Maurice, so he wins. So
Maurice is a former playmate.
And George Kittle has a man bun, Frank. Are you really proud of a dude with a man bun? I mean, really? Come on.
Ponytail.
Yes, he had a man bun on top of his head. George Kittle's a fruit bag. So go Cowboys. So.
I really thought he had a ponytail. But
I said my 2 cents about the main event. Tex, what'd you think of it?
I think great. Like I said at the beginning of the show, it started out like Rock Hogan, but it ended like Sting Hogan '97. They booked this match perfectly, but they shit the bed with the ending. And I'm not even, like I said, I'm not a Cody Mark. I wasn't cheering up and down wanting him to win the title, but WWE got greedy and they booked this match exactly as they should have, but they tried to squeeze one more round out of this. I mean, whenever they do Cody versus Roman 2, what more are they going to do? I mean, they brought Luke Harper's son out there and had him front row for the emotional factor. Like, how much further do they want to go with this thing? They literally tugged at the heartstrings of everybody, and then they did nothing with it. All over just so Solo Sikoa can come out there and waddle his fat butt into the ring to stab somebody in the neck with his thumb. You know.
Not only did they have Luke Harper's son out there, they showed Cody kissing Brandy, holding his daughter.
Yeah, they had Cody bring his kid out there and do the whole kiss daddy on TV kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they played the emotional angle. They had Roman back and forth. They played the bloodline getting kicked out. Then the Usos interfered. Then Sammy and Owen and Owens come down. They booked it perfectly, but they should have capped it off with
Cody.
Cody winning. Like I said, and I'm not even a big Cody guy, but it makes the most sense.
AJ, what'd you think of it?
I thought it was a good build-up story, but then a wet fart at the end.
Yeah,
Pretty much what Tech said.
yeah. I mean,
Great
it
story,
was.
but then flatlined.
I told you guys. I told
But they're really. Big T
you
says, but they're really
guys.
saying Backlash is a big deal. And though they're not calling it WrestleMania Backlash, I feel like they're going to be pulling out all of the stops. Well, see, that's the thing, Big T. Do you save the rematch for Backlash, or do you do it at SummerSlam?
SummerSlam.
Well,
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam is still the bigger draw. It's one of the big four. You
yeah,
know, I
Or
mean, Backlash may be a big deal, but you know, SummerSlam is where they're. I mean, okay, my God, how they started with the whole Cody going to Hollywood at 19. His dad called him Hollywood. How do you not give him the belt in Hollywood?
this just dawned on me. Say they do the rematch at Backlash, hypothetically. Cody wins via countout or something like that. There's a win for
Mhm.
Cody. They're both 1-1 against each other. It gets settled in a rubber match at SummerSlam.
well, the problem is, I mean, they moved up SummerSlam from like the end of summer to like a little bit more in the beginning or middle of summer.
I don't know when
But,
SummerSlam is. I don't know.
It's
well,
in
they usually
August.
have it.
Is it
Well,
in
they
August?
usually have it in
Yeah, it's
August, but I
August
think
5th.
they moved it to
It
July
did.
last year because
So,
usually it's in August. But
what, what about my idea? What do you guys think of my idea there?
well, the thing is, you would have to
I
stretch it from May all the way to July.
Well, okay. Here's the thing, Joe. I mean, I don't necessarily dislike your idea, but look at it this way. Let's say they do the whole Cody somehow squeaks out a victory, but it's contestable. Then they do a rubber match at Mania, or not at Mania, but at SummerSlam, and then you have Cody win clean. Well, then that's going to add a fourth match to it because Roman's going to get a rematch. Okay, so do you think they can? It's going to get boring by four matches. People are going to check out.
Oh
It's
yeah.
yeah.
it's too much. They should have they should have bit the bullet if they were going to end the bloodline. This is what I said last night. You don't do it slowly. You don't just pluck one hair at a time. You rip the band-aid off and pull all the hair out. It makes more sense that way.
Go for the headshot. Go for the immediate kill.
Yes, yes. Don't shoot him in the thigh. Just blow the freaking head off. Put two in the heart. Do whatever. And
Oh,
I mean, they wasted. They literally, it was a perfect setup, and they're going to piss off a lot. I mean, I haven't checked Twitter to see
oh,
what people are
people
saying
mad.
about this, but I'm sure people are furious and pissed. And yeah, a lot of those people are going to continue to watch, and WWE is going to get their greedy even more money from them. But I would bet dollars to donuts that there's more that don't come back that do. I will say that.
Well,
So
that's the trend of the TV ratings they've been doing
yeah,
anyways. I mean,
yeah.
it's been happening since the end of the Attitude Era, and it's been going like this ever since. They can
Oh,
barely do 1.5 million on Raw. I mean, yeah, they can do two on SmackDown, but that's on free
they
TV.
could have they could have created a top 10 Mania moment of all time, but they got greedy and tried to squeeze more out of it than they should have.
Well, it's kind of like how you said they're plucking it away slowly
Yeah,
because
instead of man up and ripping the band-aid off, they're plucking one hair at a time to get it off of it.
I
And
mean
it, they I don't know who called for this and who booked it, whether it was Pritchard or McMahon or Triple H. Whoever it was is an idiot. because 60 days is not going to stop Roman from being one of the greatest of all time. He's already one of the goats. He is what he is. You know what I mean? They pushed the dude. So I think they messed up.
Frank is totally trolling the shit out of us tonight.
Did you know the chicken and the ostrich are the closest living relatives of the Tyrannosaurus Rex? Now, Frank, did you get that from Brooding Gamer? Because he's the dinosaur guy. So I'd be willing to bet you learned that from him, but I'm just guessing.
Well, he talks about him all the fucking. Well, it's either him or Drew talks about him all the time. So,
well, I mean, for those of you that don't know, over on Harsh Truth, one of our friends over there is Brooding Gamer, and he is basically like he's basically the Jurassic Park savant. He knows everything about everything, and I'd be willing to bet Frank got that piece of knowledge from Brooding Gamer himself. So, yeah.
He just responded.
Oh, okay.
Some random reading.
Okay. Well, I mean, hey, either way, shout out to Brooding Gamer. You know, he's a buddy. He's cool. So, I don't know his Twitter handle right off the top of my brain, but go find him and subscribe to him because he does cool stuff. He does gaming and whatever. So.
Oh, we don't talk about other gamers on this channel. That's competition.
I'm sorry. I don't want Casey to get jealous over here. My apologies.
That's competition, and I don't need any more competition.
See, Casey, I don't think he plays Neo Geo games from 1974. I think you're good.
Hey, Tex, I bet you don't play the Barbie game.
Yeah, I can guarantee you won't see Brooding Gamer playing Barbie. I can promise you that.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to, play anything and everything, kind of like see what
Casey's trying to get to a different demographic, I guess. Yeah. It is what it is. So, I don't know. So I guess, okay, what's y'all's overall for night 2? Give me a 1 out of 10.
On night 2, I would give it probably a 6.5 or 7.
I get
it. Which one?
That's being generous.
Well, which one is it? The 6.5 or a 7?
Somewhere right in that sweet spot between them.
Well,
so 6 3/4.
That'll work.
Say 6.9. For me,
the last 3 matches.
I say 6 out of 10, but I can't really give it.
So we got a 6 3/4 out of Compton. Casey gives it a 6 out of 10. Mikhail, what'd you give it? 6. All right, AJ.
5.
5. Okay.
Yeah, I was not impressed with night 2. I'll take night 1 all day.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to be a little more generous with.
It was the ending.
I'm going to be a little more generous with night 2 because the Hell in a Cell match, the Brock match, and the IC title match, I loved all 3 of them. I'm going to give it a 7 overall. It would have been a 7.5, but that finish that they screwed over with Roman and Cody, that's an automatic points deduction for me. I'm going to give it a 7.
I think if Cody won, I would give it a 7. But I'm definitely going to go back and go watch the Intercontinental title, and I might revise my number.
I want to go back and I want to rewatch the Hell in a Cell match, so I want to see the exact spot where Balor got messed up. I want to go back and check that out again.
Yeah, try to find where he got cut.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Just out of curiosity, because he gets hit with that ladder, and then they just cut to tight shots of Edge, and they don't show you even the rest of the ring. Like they have Edge go clear to the other side of the ring, so they don't have to see.
And they said out loud that Finn Balor was busted open and bleeding.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, they wouldn't have sent in medical people into a Hell in a Cell if something didn't actually happen.
Look at this a-hole.
Yes, go follow Brooding Gamer. Go click that link. Brooding Gamer's a cool dude. You'll like it. He's cool.
I don't know. That could be a hack. I mean, that could be a spamware.
Hey, Casey, I plugged your shit on Thursday's show when we were talking movie stuff. So you got no gripes here. All right. Just saying. So
I mean,
what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? So
I did have it up there, so I can't say I'm not plugging him.
Listen, you're not plugging him. I am, Casey. So you're fine. You know what I mean? So
make sure you like and subscribe the Brooding Gamer. He will not play Barbie. That's almost a guarantee.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen
Alan's a good dude. He knows us. Any Jurassic Park fans, especially, he'll be one of your favorite YouTubers. So go check him out. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, so overall, what would y'all rate WrestleMania? Nights 1 and 2 all together.
Altogether, I would give it an 8.5 or a 9.
Oh wow!
Really? Even with giving, did you like night 1 enough? How can you give it a 9 if you gave night 2 a 6 3/4?
Night 1 carried the load of the show, and it made up for it.
So, what did you rank night 1?
Night 1, I would have gave it a solid, easily 9.5, 9 3/4.
Wow. Okay. So this is almost so night 1 was almost a perfect show for you then.
Almost.
I couldn't rank it that high. I think I gave it like a 7.5 or an 8. I mean, I think this was nowhere near
an 8. So I think I dropped as an overall score to probably 7.5 to maybe even an 8. Keep it at 8.
I think if I had to rank it both nights overall together for the overall experience, even in the bad matches, besides the women's matches tonight, I enjoyed myself. So, for an overall rating, I'm going to have to go. I got to give it a solid 7. I mean, averaging out whatever. I think a 7 overall, which is high for me because I'm not giving anything higher than an 8.5, honestly. But
I give it a 7.5.
Of course, you would agree with anybody on this call, Michaela. You don't have a brilliant thing for yourself.
Oh, come on.
No.
You can have the same opinion as
you are a yes man to Casey McKell, and you are his fucking lackey.
Well, I said, I said at one point 7.5. Then I was like, nah, I give it 8 for an overall score.
See, now, Casey, your lapdog is for you.
Well, hang on, Joe. Casey, the people do need an update. Have you thought about Otis's sweaty butthole anymore?
Oh, God. No, I have not until just now. I'll talk about this.
For those that don't know, Casey was fascinated with Otis's sweaty butthole to the point where Mello found the image. There we go, yeah. He found the image and posted it on here. And then we got live footage. You can go back and watch last night where Mello is tossing his salad right there. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't know Mello got down that way, but hey, that's what he does. See, there you go. He even gave you a thumbs up. Yeah. But, Casey, see, what started all that was Casey, guys, did you see Otis's butthole? He was sweaty or whatever he said. I can't remember.
Oh, I said he had a sweaty asshole.
Yeah. Out of all 15 people that were on the call last night, you were the only one that even recognized his butthole. So,
it was Apparently, I can't. Like I said, I can't.
Apparently not, because nobody else noticed it but you. So I have to wonder about your proclivities as well. Like, what are you into there, weirdo?
Well, it's kind of hard when someone's wearing a bright yellow singlet and really has a back sweating, and then just a sweaty part around his asshole, like that. It's
Why are you
hard
doing
not
a
to
pussy
notice that.
logo? Why are you doing a pussy over his asshole? Is that a is that how you justify your homosexuality?
Oh no! It's a diamond cutter. There you go.
Oh yeah, now everybody knows that's
cut his asshole open. You want to split it open, right? Is that what you're saying, Casey?
What?
So.
Are you saying you want to split that thing open?
Oh.
So you fell in love with Otis's sweaty butthole in case?
No. I guarantee you, he's probably gonna regret wearing that. Or like, at least wear fucking underwear if you're gonna wear something highlight like that.
So, have you created the dating profile that I asked you to, named Otis's sweaty butthole? With that as the profile picture.
Well, I would use the one with Mello in there and see if I. Oh, we got another one from Frank. He said,
"Okay, did you know Oreo has made enough cookies to go to the moon and back 5 times? And Casey has eaten 53% of them. I believe it. I believe it.
Only 53%? I was going to say like 75%.
Well, he's working on it, AJ. He can only eat so much at a time. You know, I mean, by next week he'll be up to like 71.5%. You know, so I mean,
they're great with milk. So I mean, it's kind of they're addictive. And I
can see I bet Casey's one of them kind of people that he buys a package of Oreos, opens them up, licks the cream out, leaves the cookie inside, and puts it back in the shelf.
Oh my God.
There is one opinion we did not get from nights 1 and 2 combined. AJ, what's your thought?
I give it a 7 overall. Night 1 was the best. Night 2 was a wet fart.
Wet fart.
Minus the fucking Gunther match. That was
actually, you know what? I have to add a half-point reduction because we didn't get any of Maurice's gigantic titties during WrestleMania. So yeah, I'm gonna have to knock that down to a 6.5. There was no Alexa Bliss. Actually, you know what? There was no Alexa Bliss or Scarlett Bordeaux. This thing's getting worse the more I talk about it. Holy crap.
Hell, Joe's over here saying it's the best WrestleMania ever. I'm sitting over like, this is a disaster.
We got no Alexa. I did not get to see my future wife, Alexa. So that's a half point. I didn't. Mikkel, get back to the home. Nobody asked you. Just get out of here.
No woman will ever love you, Mikkel.
So I didn't get to see my wife, Alexa. We got no Scarlett Bordeaux, and we didn't get to see Maurice and her gigantic knockers. So let's see. If I gave tonight over, I'm gonna have to give it like a 5.5. We didn't get seriously. Okay, we got Miz here. Obviously, Maurice was there as well. You couldn't strut her out on camera even one time in 15 hours. Just saying.
Frank is wishing death on Mikkel because he's saying, "Did you know you are 13.8% more likely to die on your birthday?" On that note, happy birthday, Mikkel.
Actually, happy birthday from all of us to you. Go ahead, Mikkel, die.
Go ahead, Mikkel. Go Benoit yourself.
If you could die on camera, that'd be great. If you could do that.
Well, I mean, honestly, if he does die, I mean, we're not going to see it because he's going to be phased away from.
Hang on, wait, Mikkel.
He's going to do it.
Hang on, Mikkel. Do you know anybody who breathes through an oxygen tank?
Turn the green screen off, Mikkel. We
He
can't.
took off his helmet, his headset.
Oh crap!
The
Well, I
green.
was going to ask if Mikkel knew anybody who breathed through an oxygen tank. I was going to tell him to go smoke a cigarette next to him and explode. But
He's doing something. He's doing something. Oh my God! Is that a goddamn noose? No! He's trying to get me off. He's trying to get my channel banned.
Mikkel, hang yourself.
somehow I knew he was into auto asphyxiation. I knew he was into that shit.
Turn the green
I
screen
know.
off.
You're gonna get me banned.
Turn the green screen off.
Oh God, I gotta tuck away for this one.
Why are you putting on me? I want to see this shit.
Nobody wants to see Compton either. That's even worse.
Well, I mean, you got Mikkel trying to off himself here.
You got several other people. Put it back on goddamn Mikkel. Fuck.
Hang on, Mikkel. Are you simulcasting this, by the way? Are you stealing content?
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
still
he is.
using content. He's stealing it. I thought you were supposed to be dead.
No.
Hang on. I need Mikkel. Are you stealing content for your crappy little channel?
Oh,
Of course you are. Okay. Yep. Then I approve you offing yourself. Be gone. Do your thing.
Be gone. Oh.
Where's the Bowflex?
Go find the nearest 18-wheeler and jump in front of it. Do what you need to do.
Oh, he's there again. You're gonna get me canceled, Miguel.
Hey, you know what? It is what it is.
He's gonna get me canceled.
I always knew you were suicidal.
Now the whole screen's on you, Tex. We can't see this shit.
Oh, what's up? Oh, goodness gracious. Now,
Mikkel's
you
over
know,
this season again.
could you have, okay, well, I'll tell you what they should have done. They should have, instead of that WrestleMania showcase with all them women nobody gives a crap about, they should have had Miz go out there with Maurice, right? And they're talking. They're doing whatever. And Miz is like, I've got the most beautiful woman in WWE. Maurice struts around, shows off her goods, whatever. And then Scarlett Bordeaux's like, oh, yeah, really? She comes out there with Karrion Kross, right? And then Karrion and Miz kind of get into it. And then the two women, they start fighting one another. And then Alexa Bliss is like, oh, yeah, y'all think y'all are hot? I'm the hottest here. And then we get a triple threat, Alexa Bliss, Scarlett, and Maurice, like, oil wrestling match. That would have been like a 12, out of it. It would have just it would have been the greatest WrestleMania match ever. I mean, there's no way it couldn't have been.
Well, 19 years ago at WrestleMania 20, they had the Playboy match. So they could have
Right, that's what I'm saying. They should bring back. How have they not done the bikini contest in forever? Like, what is wrong with them? Come on.
I would be afraid to see those Miller Lite catfight girls now. They probably got saggy tits going all the way to the ground.
I'm not talking. They're old. Nobody cares about them. I'm talking about the young hot ones. You know what I mean? Like I said, the Scarletts and the Alexas and the Maurices, the ones that are just delicious looking. You know what I mean?
I always loved watching a Liv Morgan match.
Yeah, but she needs to go get some boobs done. That's the only thing about her.
Well, hey, AJ.
Pac-Man Ghost Pellets.
What's up?
AJ, we got a request from Big T. He's getting sick of Mikkel stealing your artwork.
Okay, what the fuck do you want me to do about it? I ain't got my lawyer here.
He says make.
I think we just need to hope and pray that Frank's stats are correct and you die more on your birthday and Mikkel heals over pretty soon. Then we don't have to worry about it. I mean,
and besides, Mikel can't afford me. He can't afford me for fucking making thumbnails. Hell, Casey's too Jewish. I do this because of Make a Wish. I help
did
these
you know
Mongoloids
Barbie
out.
and Ken broke up in 2004? So there is a woman out there that thinks you have a big dick, Casey.
Well, we don't know how big of a dick Ken has because I think he wears underwear under everything. I think that's what last time when I undressed Ken
Why are you
What the
undressing?
fuck are you?
Hang on, wait.
What?
You undressed Ken, Casey?
Well,
Why?
I mean, I think I was.
So hang on, well, let's not bury the lead here. So that means you had a Ken doll to undress.
Well, my sister had Barbie.
They
So, I mean, we would.
Covering up
Casey
again.
had Barbie dolls. This is what we just found out.
Yeah.
Casey had
No,
Barbie
no,
dolls.
I was gonna like. I forgot. I mean, I used to tie up her Barbie dolls all the time. So I don't know. I guess I was curious what's under there because you
I
could
bet
see.
you were curious playing with your Barbie dolls, freaking weirdo.
Frank's like,
Now,
last time
is there a direct correlation between you playing with Barbie dolls to sucking dick for Nintendo? Is there a correlation with that?
I would say
No,
there
it's
is.
just a coincidence.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's no coincidence whatsoever, right?
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, I guarantee you, I'm
So-
not the only guy who ever undressed Barbie dolls.
No, as a child, I would undress a Barbie doll because, titties and whatnot. But I never.
Well, I
a
did
Ken
that too.
doll.
I did that too, but I mean,
Right, but you specifically said that you undressed Ken dolls, though.
well, I mean, that's how I knew that he wore underwear under there. It's like, oh, okay.
Not swerving around this one, Casey. There is no swerving around this one.
I think we learned something new. See, okay, last night we learned that Casey pays attention to wrestlers' buttholes. He told us about that. He's previously told us in the past that he's down for taking a shot in the mouth for video games, and now
Expensive, rare video game.
he undressed. It doesn't matter how rare. If you suck it, you're a homo. Everybody knows.
Yes.
So, and we now learn that you undressed Ken dolls as a young child. So,
Yeah, as a young child. I mean,
right. So that was your. Would you say that was your awakening to your new lifestyle that you now live?
no, I just.
Oh,
Kind of sounds like it, Casey.
I don't know.
No.
You might need to go get in that parade that they have with all them weirdos and whatnot. Yeah.
I always knew that in the alphabet.
I don't know which one of the colors would represent you with that gay flag, but you might need to go ask your friends.
I like to know.
I always knew that in that alphabet, the plus at the end of it stood for Casey, since he's plus size.
Casey, were you groomed? Casey, have you ever visited at Epstein Island? Like, how often did you go there?
What? MC Diving?
Epstein Island.
Oh, Epstein Island. Never. I mean, I've been on island.
That sounds like a repressed memory to me. What do y'all think? Like he's purposely blocking something out here.
The way he said that, the way he said
I've been
that,
off.
the way you said it, you sounded like he was lying.
Now, can you tell me what kind of cigars? Can you tell me what kind of cigars that our former President Clinton likes to smoke? Because you gave him some before.
Oh God. Well, I mean, I've been on the island before, but it was off the coast of Texas. It was.
Did Bill Clinton Did Bill Clinton use you as a human ashtray case? That's what
I mean. Oh, yeah.
Were you ever in the Oval Office with Clinton?
Yeah, he used to put out his cigars in my ass.
Oh, you heard it.
Clip that. Clip that. That's
It burned. It burned pretty badly. There's sometimes when
there you go. When, I mean, he admitted it himself here, folks. I mean, assist to the harsh truth for helping me, witch hunt this filthy homosexual here. That's Casey is wrong, but
Now here's the other question: did he take Mikkel with him?
No.
I think Casey might have groomed Mikkel by asking him to anal him the other day.
I believe it.
No.
I find it funny that you have two mongoloids on the far left side and then the smart ones on the right.
That's just irony, actually. That's all that is. Well, see, what's funny is Joe Compton's in the middle because he's a little of both parties. You know what I mean? That's what's so funny.
We cut it right in half.
No.
Gotta move more to your right then, Joe. There you go, buddy.
There you go. Okay. All right. Now you're good to go.
Oh, I wonder where he got that orange shirt at. Did he get that when he went to prison at one point? I mean, I don't see his. I don't see his prison.
That looks like one of them shirts that they make you wear to do community service or whatnot. You know what I mean?
I got it whenever I murdered all those homos back in the day.
I could see Joe Compton being one of. I could see Compton being one of those guys that's picking up like beer cans off the side of the highway, carrying a trash bag or something. I could see Compton doing that.
Oh gosh. But Trek is asking do you think we're gonna get a rematch on Raw with Cody might win? I say
you won't get it till SummerSlam.
No.
Not on Raw, Trek. I don't see it happening, brother.
It's possible, but they should have done that WrestleMania. If they're going to do it the night after Raw,
they wasted their opportunity.
The only reason if they do it on Raw is just to pop a big number, and
I'll be honest with you. I care much less than I would have if he had won tonight. I'll be honest with you.
Well, it was just. I bet they're gonna regret that they didn't pop on it. I mean, plus they're pissing off the people from not only having Sami Zayn not winning it, and from the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Now they did the same thing again with Cody at WrestleMania. So
I mean, at this point, there's nobody left for Roman to face. There's nobody. He's beat Seth.
What Casey was saying is that you know how people are leaving in droves with WCW because they dropped the ball. Karma's repeating itself.
It is
all over again.
I got back into it because of the whole bloodline story, Cody, and the blah blah blah, and the whatever. But seeing how this ended here tonight, I'll be real honest with you. I don't care. I don't.
Yeah, I'm kind of like
if and when Cody ever does win it, okay. But it should have been at Mania.
Yeah, they dropped it. They literally had the opportunity in their palm of their hands, and they fucking just flushed it down the toilet. And it pretty much gave all those fans the middle finger and said, "No, you're not getting what you want."
I think it was two things. One, I think it was so predictable. Two is kind of like how Texas
nowadays is predictable.
Well, okay, just because it's predictable, that doesn't mean it's bad. Sometimes it's good in business to give the customers what they want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what we got last night when we got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. The only they were in the main event. What?
Think about
it. Popped
okay, just imagine this here. just imagine if WrestleMania was one night. It wasn't in two. It was all in one show. And at the beginning of the show, you opened it with the Usos versus Owens and Sami Zayn. And they opened the pay-per-view with the Bloodline losing their titles, their tag team titles. And they cut back to the back, and Paul Heyman and Roman are freaking out. They're losing their minds because you spent how many months showing the cracks in the bloodline, right?
Yeah.
And so for the rest of the show, throughout, between matches, they show scenes back in the back where Roman is chewing their ass, doing this, doing that, whatever. And the pressure is on the bloodline. And Roman knows the pressure is building. And they get to that final match, and then they do that final match exactly like they did tonight, except they have Cody win. You can't tell me that wouldn't be the most biggest pop emotional ride of all time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say of all time. I mean, there were some I think there were bigger ones. But
I'm talking about in the modern era. I'm talking about in the last 10 years.
There hasn't been.
Maybe
Becky Lynch.
If they had done it that way, if they had done it where it was all one night, one show, and for the last 2 months they've been talking about the bloodline is cracking, it's falling apart, and then they finally get to Mania, and they crack under the pressure, and Roman loses the belt. That would have done bigger business than Roman winning. I'd argue that to anybody.
But I agree, but I feel I still kind of like the 2 nights thing. I'd rather have the 2 nights.
The only they use the lockdowns and the COVID as a limitations to move it to 2 nights, and then they milk it now because it's twice as much money, which I don't blame them for. I mean, hey, it's a business. You do what you got to do. But there's no reason why it has to. Entertainment-wise, there is not enough for 2 nights.
Would you agree with what I said earlier, Tex? That if both cards were built right and they had the roster to do it, do 2 nights?
Well, as the old saying goes, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, there's a lot of ifs in that sentence.
I think the reason why.
Yeah.
I mean, go back. If they had waited to do the invasion by a year, you could have had Sting, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, and the NWO, but they didn't do it. They rushed to it.
And Bischoff.
If they had booked, this right, maybe something else would have happened. You can't worry about if. You have to worry about what did they do. And what they did do was shit the bed by booking the angle wrongly here. And I think you're going to have a lot of pissed off fans that say, you know what? You sit there and told us finish the story for the last 3 months or whatever, and this is what you give us. You went to the mountaintop and then you backed off. Just imagine you're getting whacked off by your old lady, and then she stops right before you're about to freaking shoot. How are you going to feel?
You're going to be pissed off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm shocked they didn't riot.
The WWE just blue-balled every casual fan that tuned back in. And a lot of them aren't going to tune back in too much whenever they face it SummerSlam. Because, just because, okay, this makes no sense. Just think about all those people that paid because they expected to see Cody win, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you reward good behavior instead of punishing it? Why do you have to... See, this feels like to me a situation like how Undertaker was supposed to beat Brock Lesnar till at the last minute Vince pulled him aside and told him that they were going to do something else.
Yeah.
I still think that was the right decision. I mean, Undertaker was getting too old.
No, if you think Undertaker's streak should have been beaten, then you're wrong on every level.
Hold on. I'm saying that you could legitimately think that Undertaker could have beaten Brock Lesnar.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Undertaker's streak was the one. He should have retired at Mania undefeated.
I think what they should have done at WrestleMania 30 when he lost, he should have retired because one, the streak, the whole thing was over. Plus, I think at WrestleMania 30 that it wasn't great because he had a concussion. It was still okay, but the rest of the matches were kind of garbage afterwards.
Well, the rest of the matches have no bearing on Undertaker and his streak. You're talking apples and oranges here. I'm talking exclusively about Undertaker's streak. That was the holy grail. That's what everybody tuned in for. And I mean, how much did they do? It's not like they did a ton of business by Undertaker losing.
Well, I think they made Brock Lesnar even a bigger star.
Brock Lesnar was already made. He didn't get any bigger by beating Undertaker.
I disagree. I think he did grow, like his stock grew 100 times more.
Undertaker has gone on record as saying Brock did not need that loss. He has said if he was going to give it to anybody, it would have been the Roman match.
Yeah.
Brock was think about it. Brock was already a UFC champion. He'd already done the NFL thing. He was already Brock Lesnar prior to all of that. I mean, he didn't need to beat Undertaker. The only thing that he got out of it was that stupid, what was that t-shirt? Eat, sleep, beat the streak or whatever. That's literally all that came out of it.
Conquer the streak or something.
That's literally all that came out of it, and that lasted until the next Brock Lesnar t-shirt came out, and they never said it again. It was a waste.
Tex, I think you need to read this one.
Sure. Frank from the Harsh Truth says, did you know that hippopototomo, fuck you, Frank, is a pair of long words? It will take Casey to try and read it. Good night. So, yeah, Frank can go to hell on that note. So, yeah, it's all good.
But, have a good one, Frank.
The streak should have never been beaten. And just like with this, think about all the legwork they put into it. Going back in time with Cody going to Hollywood whenever he was 19. His daddy called him Hollywood. The whole finish the story you've heard 1,000 times just today. They booked the emotional angle. They had him holding his child on television next to the kid of a dead former wrestler that everybody sucks off these days because he's dead. And they still did what they did. So now if and whenever Cody does beat him, a lot less people are going to care because they pushed him away.
Yeah, I mean, it should have happened tonight. That sucks that it didn't, but...
Well, like I said, it was that... What they did tonight was the equivalent of that super hot girl you've always liked finally decided to blow you, and she stopped sucking right before you were about to shoot. That's what this was.
You know what? If I would have had I would have been okay with that. It's like, hey, she finally blew me, but I didn't get the chance to finish. But
Casey, what's the point of a blowjob if you don't shoot?
Yeah.
Shut up, Mikhail. You don't even know.
My point exactly.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I know.
Mikhail, you've never gotten a blowjob. You can't comment on this. You don't know what you're talking about. Your vacuum cleaner or mother doesn't count. I don't want to hear it.
Oh, the vacuum cleaner doesn't count? Okay.
Vacuum cleaner does not count.
Okay, never mind.
Casey's broke more vacuum cleaners than Hoover has.
Well, I mean, I would use the shop vac, but I mean,
Casey's got a shop vac. Casey's got a shop vac with an accessory tip made just for his tiny little finger. It's a perfect little fit. So.
It almost rips the dick off of me. That's how much it
Yes,
sucks it
and
out.
subscribe to Frank's shit over on the Harsh Truth, where we talk about movies and film and TV and entertainment news, and we do all kinds of cool shit over there.
So, yeah, I still enjoyed the last match, but I was a little disappointed at the end.
I enjoyed it up until they blue balled everybody, and as like I said, I'm speaking from the casual point of view. Somebody who growing up was a hardcore fan, then once my company died, I was whatever.
Mm.
I will tune in to Raw tomorrow night, and then after that, I don't really care.
Yeah, I
They'll
mean,
go back to their million people because they got greedy and they wanted to milk this thing for a couple more matches.
it would just keep going down like it's been like it's been going. It just gets worse, where to the point it'll be less
Well,
than the
yeah,
million.
they're going to keep the belt on Roman. He's not going to show up, but maybe once or twice a month. And, you won't have your main title. I mean, did people get pissed off about that when Brock Lesnar was champion? Like, you never saw him, but like once every 2 months or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Aren't people tired of that with Roman Reigns these days?
I'd say
Well,
so.
I think he shows up more than Brock Lesnar was doing at that time frame. You would see him
Well,
like
and
maybe.
seriously, what good is like I said, just because, okay, I can't help but feel like a lot of this was due to they wanted Roman to get to 1,000 days as champion, right?
Yeah, that's how
What's the
that's the whole point now.
What's the difference in 900 and something and 1,000 whenever it's a fake title? This isn't like you were Super Bowl champions 3 years running or something. You didn't win 5 World Series in a row, This is, I mean, everybody knows this is made up. So why are they treating it like it's not?
Yes, we're gonna do a stream tomorrow. Don't know how long it's gonna be. Probably not as long as right now it is, but
Y'all
we're
have fun with
definitely.
that. I won't be on that deal.
Yeah, I can say he'll be rather sweepy. He'll probably sleep through Raw.
Oh, Trek, they're not gonna. There's no way they're gonna have him Roman to do that, because that's. I think Bruno had it for 8 years, so that means he
I
would have to
don't.
do it for another 5 years.
That by the time that, well, see, here's the thing: when Bruno got that record, they weren't doing 2 live shows a week. It was wrestling was different at that point in time.
Oh yeah.
Entertainment was different. You know what I mean? It's so it's a completely different thing. I mean, literally, there's no okay. I I heard somebody said earlier, Randy Orton might be a challenger. I'd be willing to bet he's beaten Randy Orton for that championship title within these last 3 years.
I don't remember.
Actually, I'd be willing to bet he has. I mean, there is literally nobody left.
Big T says we're off.
Huh?
Big T say we're off, but it might be off YouTube. But I think he's messing up.
Is your internet going in and out or something?
It looks like it was Big T's end, because Trek said it didn't crash for him, so it looks like we're still good.
Let us know in the chat if it's messing up or whatever, please. But yeah, no, there's no other. They've fed everybody to Roman now. I mean, they have literally. I mean, who are they going to have? Are they going to bring Braun Breaker up and ruin him by feeding him to Roman, or whatever? I hope not.
It's possible. I mean,
if they do, they're stupid.
I mean, right now I know Braun just lost his NXT title.
Yeah, he's definitely coming to the main roster. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I think he'll show up on Monday. I think it's pretty obvious.
Are they going to feed a bunch of jobbers to Roman to just pad this thing out till 1,000 days or something?
Or they're not going to have that, or they're not going to have him fight until like the big shows.
Oh.
Like I said, they screwed up here tonight. They really and truly messed up, and I think it's going to come back to bite them in the butt. I really and truly do. They brought you to the top, and then they knocked the bottom out from under you. And you know they're going to do the same thing again. They're going to run Cody versus Roman. They'll play up the emotional angle. Blah, 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 blah. Finish the story. Finish the story. I never want to hear finish the story ever again.
Yeah, I agree.
They could have closed that. They could have finished this story and started a new book tomorrow night on Raw. But no, they didn't do that. So.
Well,
they messed up.
Let's go ahead and wrap up for the night because we pretty much said everything that needed to be said about WrestleMania. I thought it was a pretty good show combined, but so
it was entertaining. It was definitely entertaining. It was, disappointing at the end, but it definitely had its bright spots.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not going to be perfect. I mean, even when people say WrestleMania X7 was the best, I still think it had the first couple matches sucked ass.
That one will forever be marred with Stone Cold turning heel.
Yeah.
I still prefer. I still liked it, but I'm
well,
a little biased.
You also wanted Undertaker to lose his streak too, so we know how smart you are there, Casey is wrong.
All right, so Mikal, even though we know this is on your channel, you're still in our bullshit, but you want to shout out your stuff?
My top every time in Cobra reveal and gun check me out right there on YouTube and my gaming fit Miguel gaming fit. Okay, Katie.
All right, Joe.
All right. First of all, before I plug my Twitter, did anybody else find that hard as hell to listen to and excruciatingly painful?
Joe.
Oh come on, he's trying.
Well, he needs to try harder or get a goddamn interpreter. One of the two. Jesus fucking Christ.
I think what he needs to do is his audio is very low.
He needs to learn fucking English is what he needs, or get a goddamn interpreter.
Oh come on.
But anyways,
he ain't lying.
Anyways, follow me on Twitter at JoeCompton81. And Mikkel, I don't want to know where the fuck you stick that goddamn finger, so put it down.
Smoke alarm's going on.
I can smell that finger from here.
Yeah, someone's fire alarm's going off.
Probably Mikkel's.
No,
I don't even have a fire alarm.
I don't either.
No.
McCullough, you gotta jump out the window.
Oh, come on.
Make sure to land on your head so you don't get any damage.
Mikkel, just like Tex, here's the one time we can say this. Finish the story. Do it.
Right on air.
I am adding finish the story to the list of happy birthday, Mikkel, for never to be said ever again. That has now made my list, and thanks to never say it again. So, no, thank you. So
Someone's hot pocket's on fire.
I think it's Mikkel.
Yeah, I mean, plus we're echoing too. But
I don't hear it.
really, we're
I don't
hearing.
hear it.
He's gonna do it. Jump out the window.
It was Mikhail, was it?
Was it
We're
you,
gonna have to have a
Miguel?
meeting backstage, boys. We're gonna have a meeting. Either way. So
No,
Alright.
in the mean, Katie.
Jesus Christ, Mikkel.
all right, well, we thank everybody for watching, whoever's here, whoever's came, whatever. Don't worry about my Twitter because I don't do shit on it anyways. But subscribe to the harsh truth. We, like I said, movies and shit. It's all over there. So harsh truth on YouTube.
And shout out the Brooding Gamer.
Hey, yes, and shout out to Brooding Gamers.
Yeah.
Scroll up in the comments because he's a member of our harsh truth family over there. Alan's a cool dude. You'll like him, and he does some cool stuff. So.
What about you, AJ?
It's been said a million times. Everybody knows.
So I was going to say, if there's no point in plugging something that's already on the channel that you're on.
Yeah.
Well, I just figured to see if he had anything.
No.
For me, I have some Wrestlemania NES games that I need to edit. I might go live. I got a couple pickups this weekend, so I might go live with live pickups. So,
Are you gonna wreck your car and possibly get pulled over by the cops and beat and tasered? That'd be
it's
interesting.
possible.
That'd be
It's
awesome.
possible. I mean, there's sometimes I do go live, so I'm wondering if one day it's going to happen.
Well, the next time you get pulled over, make sure you go live and make sure that you resist the officer's orders. Whatever they say to do, you do the complete opposite, and make sure all of it is on film so we can see.
Well, I mean, I'll be going on live, so it'd be live, and you just have to.
Like so, as the officer is beating you to death with his nightstick, make sure to hold the camera in perfect placement, or have one of his cop buddies hold it so we get a good framed shot of your
Better
death.
idea.
So
Have Casey paint himself half black, half white.
No.
hey, technically, okay. People say blackface is a no-no, right? They never said anything about half blackface.
Yeah,
So,
like how come is Roddy Piper being canceled for that?
Okay,
What about the demon?
if Finn Balor can do straight up blackface, so can you, Casey. So we're going to need you.
Point. He is doing blackface.
Well, see, okay, here's the thing. I think blackface is okay as long as you have some other colors inside of it. I think that's how he gets away with it. So we're going to need you to do some blackface, but put blue in there or something. Just whatever. Just so it's not all black. You know what I mean?
Oh, what about if it's all black and then like a speck of like a different color? So it's not
Sure, that's great. Just look black enough to where the officers think you're of a certain minority, and they beat you to death and they pull you over. That's all we need. So,
But I'll do is I'll have like I got apparently if you have red lipstick with blackface, that's even worse. So I'll have like a blue mole or something.
Just make sure that you shuck and jive while you're wearing the blackface.
Make sure you drop a bionic elbow on the cops, Casey.
What?
Make sure you drop a bionic elbow on the cops.
No. Actually, Casey,
he's not cool enough for that.
Casey, the best thing to do when you get pulled over is reach for the officer's gun. That's what you need to do. Reach for their gun, so that way they know you're really into self-defense and that they're going to treat you real well when you do that.
It's like, hey, I was told to do this, so let me.
No,
right.
Bullshit! You are not name dropping any of us.
Well,
It's like-
no, Joe. No, Joe. No, Joe. No, Joe. Be like, Casey, okay, when you're wearing your blackface and you're getting pulled over and you're resisting arrest and you reach for the gun, make sure to tell them that your friend Mikkel told you to do this.
My friend Mikkel at Mikkel Talks told me to do this.
Yeah, and plug his Twitter and YouTube channel so that way they can hunt him down as an accessory for your crimes. Two birds, one stone here. You know.
Oh gosh.
Well, I'm just glad we could help out the Make-A-Wish kids tonight. You know,
Well,
that's the whole point.
It is our duty as good, honest men to help the less fortunate. You know? So
It is.
we would be doing them a disservice by not helping them. So I feel good about what we're doing. You know?
Me too. How about you, Joe?
Hey, I feel good for what we're doing.
I've done my duty to my fellow man for the month, so I can be an asshole for the rest of it.
Well, as for that, let's go ahead and call it night. You guys have a good night, and we're gonna get out of here. So thank you for coming by.
Adios.
Adios.
See you guys.
Adios.